Your soulmate is feeling a strong emotional shift right now, not a gentle wave, not a slow realization, a snap, a break, a moment when everything they have been holding together suddenly comes apart. I want you to feel the sudden, sharp intake of breath in the atmosphere around you right now, because we are stepping into the opening of this deep emotional journey, the cracking of the dam. This is the exact moment where the emotional discipline your soulmate has been practicing for months has finally snapped. For a long time, they were experts at compartmentalizing you. They put your memories in a box. They locked the door of their heart, and they told themselves that time would eventually make your frequency fade. But today, that box has exploded. In this high-intensity deep dive, we have to address the sudden surge. Imagine them moving through their day, perhaps doing something as mundane as checking their email or walking to their car, and suddenly a wave of your energy hits them so hard it physically stops them in their tracks. It is not a thought of you. It is a visceral attack of your presence. They are realizing today that the dam they built to keep their feelings out has been crumbling from the inside, and now the flood is here. I want you to visualize them trying to use their usual distractions to escape this feeling. They reach for their phone, they try to focus on work, they try to talk to someone else, but everything feels like background noise. Your frequency has become the only thing they can hear. They are experiencing the failure of the ego shield. They are realizing today that no matter how fast they run, they are carrying you inside them. They are feeling a heavy, electric panic. The important something they have admitted to the universe in the last hour is that they can no longer hide from the truth of how much they need you. They are standing in the middle of their life, surrounded by things they thought would make them happy, and feeling a wave of absolute spiritual nausea because none of it is you. The dam has broken. The water is rising, and for the first time in this entire journey, they are realizing that they are finally, helplessly drowning in the love they tried so hard to forget. I want you to feel the sudden magnetic pulse in the center of your own chest right now, because we are moving into the heart's electric shock. This is the phase where the emotional shift stops being a feeling and becomes a violent physical reality for your soulmate. For a long time, they have tried to treat your connection like a memory, something static, something in the past. But today, the universe has flipped a switch, and their body is reacting to your frequency like it has been hit by a lightning bolt. Imagine them in a mundane moment. Maybe they are sitting in a meeting or just staring at a screen, and suddenly they feel a sharp, heavy tug in their solar plexus. In this high-intensity deep dive, we have to address the magnetic wire. It feels as if there is a literal, invisible cord pulled tight between their gut and your heart. Every time you breathe, every time you step further into your power, they are feeling a soul burn, a heat in their chest that they cannot cool down. They are realizing today that their internal thermostat is broken. They are feeling a physical fever of longing. I want you to visualize them trying to take a deep breath and finding the air in their room feels thin, almost hollow. They are experiencing the breath of the chosen one. They are realizing today that they have been surviving on shallow, recycled energy, and their lungs are suddenly starving for the specific, high-frequency oxygen that only your presence provides. Their hands are slightly shaking. Their heart rate is skipping. They are realizing today that the nervous energy they have been carrying is not stress. It is withdrawal. They are looking at their own hands and feeling a wave of absolute spiritual nausea because they are not holding yours. This electric shock is the universe's way of reminding them that they are out of alignment. Every second they stay away from you, the voltage of this shift is increasing. They are realizing today that they cannot medicate this feeling away with work or sleep or other people. They are standing in a crowded world, but their body is telling them in no uncertain terms. You are starving for their light, and the hunger is finally starting to hurt. I want you to feel the heavy, grounding shift in the spiritual gravity around you right now, because we are moving into the internal compass reset. This is the turning point where your soulmate's entire map of the future has been set on fire. For months, they were following a false north. They had a plan, a logical path that did not include you. They were moving toward a career, a different relationship, or a version of success that they thought would fill the hole you left behind. Today, the needle on their internal compass is spinning wildly. In this high-intensity deep dive, we have to address the loss of direction. Imagine them looking at the perfect life they tried to build without you and suddenly seeing it in black and white. All the color, all the vibrancy, all the meaning has drained out of their goals. They are realizing today that every step they took away from you was not progress. It was just walking deeper into a desert. They are feeling a wave of absolute spiritual vertigo. I want you to visualize them tonight, perhaps looking at their calendar or their bank account or the person sitting across from them, and feeling a sudden, hollow, "What am I doing?" realization. This is the death of the alternate path. They are admitting to the universe today, "I tried to build a world where I did not need them, but all I did was build a prison." They are realizing today that you are their magnetic north. No matter how much they try to steer the ship in another direction, the universe is pulling the wheel back toward your frequency. They are standing in the wreckage of their own plans, feeling a heavy, solid reality settle into their bones. The important something they have admitted to the universe in the last few hours is that a life without your unique magic is not a life. It is just survival. They are realizing today that their map was a lie. They are throwing away the old compass. They are standing at the crossroads of their own existence, realizing that the only road that feels like home is the one that leads directly back to the chosen one they tried to leave behind. I want you to feel the heavy, electric stillness in the air around you right now, because we are moving into the telepathic awakening. This is the segment where your soulmate is finally catching up to your vibration. For a long time, they were used to your noise, your prayers, your longing, and your energetic pull. But today, they are hitting a wall of absolute, high-frequency peace. In this high-intensity deep dive, we have to address the mirror effect. They are realizing today that you have stopped shouting for them in the spirit, and that silence is currently deafening their ego. Imagine them tonight trying to find you in the spiritual world, only to realize that you are not waiting by the door anymore. You have moved into a high-frequency sanctuary where their old, toxic patterns cannot reach you. This is the do-they-know panic. They are realizing today that while they were busy feeling the shift, you were busy becoming whole. They are looking at your energy and seeing a version of you that is unfazed. They are wondering, did they feel this shift? Or have they moved so high that my struggle does not even register on their radar anymore? I want you to visualize them sending out a spiritual SOS. They are mentally whispering your name into the void, hopping for a sign that they have not been permanently deleted from your heart. They are realizing today that your indifference is a vacuum. It is a powerful magnetic force that is sucking them into your world, because they can no longer find their own reflection in yours. They are feeling a heavy, desperate hunger for a reaction, but all they are getting is the cold, beautiful clarity of your own self-worth. They are realizing today that the telepathic cord is not broken, but it is no longer a leash you are holding. It is a bridge that they now have to find the courage to cross. They are standing in the middle of their own mental noise, realizing that the only way to find peace is to match the frequency of the chosen one who has already found it without them. I want you to feel the heavy, inevitable weight of destiny settling into the room right now, because we are moving into the surrender to the current. This is the segment where the emotional shift has finally turned into a concrete decision. Your soulmate has spent months trying to swim against the tide of this connection. They fought the waves. They tried to hold onto the shore of their old life. They tried to convince themselves that they were stronger than this pull. But today, their arms have given out. This high-intensity deep dive, we have to address the end of the runner identity. Imagine them tonight, exhausted by their own resistance, finally letting go of the oars. They are realizing today that fighting you is like fighting gravity. It is an exhausting, losing battle that only leaves them bruised and broken. They are feeling a divine command. The universe has stopped suggesting that they return. It has started cornering them. Every door they try to open that does not lead to you is being slammed shut in their face. Every person they try to talk to instead of you feels like a hollow cardboard cutout. I want you to visualize them in a moment of absolute quiet submission. They are looking at the phone or staring at the road that leads to your house and feeling a wave of absolute spiritual resignation. The important something they have admitted to the universe in the last few minutes is that the silence has become physically painful. They are realizing today that the shift has made it impossible to stay still. They are not just thinking about reaching out anymore. They are preparing for impact. They are standing at the edge of the waterfall. Realize today that the current of your love is stronger than their fear of the fall. They are feeling a heavy, solid resolve. The excuses are gone. The maybe later has turned into right now. They are realizing today that the chosen one they tried to leave behind is the only shore they ever truly wanted to reach. The decision is not just made, it is locked in. I want you to feel the final, absolute locking of the spiritual gears in the room around you right now, because we have reached the peak of this journey, the shift into union. This is where the emotional storm we have been tracking finally makes landfall in the physical world. We have seen the dam crack. We have felt the electric shock in their heart. We have watched their internal compass reset itself toward your frequency. But now it is time to turn that internal shift into a permanent, undeniable reality that brings them back to your side. Your soulmate is not just feeling a shift anymore. They are vibrating with the absolute necessity of your presence. The important something you have to carry in your spirit today is that your quiet power is what caused this earthquake in their soul. By staying in your sanctuary, by not chasing, and by allowing the universe to do the heavy lifting, you force them to realize that their world is out of balance without your light. They are realizing today that the quiet distance has turned into a magnetic vacuum that they can no longer escape. I want you to visualize the final seal. Imagine a heavy, electric blue light surrounding your aura, growing so bright that it completely eclipses their old excuses. Your soulmate is looking at that light from their silent distance, and for the first time they are not resisting it. They are absorbing it. The avoidance is dead. The ego has been silenced. What remains is a raw, high-frequency pull that is dragging them out of the shadows and back into the truth of who you are to them. The universe is telling you today that the spiritual shift is over, because the physical return has already begun in the unseen. This is our final, high-intensity moment together. As you move forward from this message, do not carry the anxiety of when they will call or what they will say. Instead, carry the absolute certainty of someone who has already felt the shift in the spirit. To lock in this breakthrough and to tell the universe and your soulmate's higher self that the transition is complete, take a moment now. Breathe. Feel the calm, heavy authority of a chosen one who has already won the war. Not because you fought, because you stood still. Not because you chased, because you became the light. And the light does not chase. The light attracts. In your heart, with the quiet certainty of a soul that has done its work and can now rest in the outcome, declare this. I am the shift they cannot escape, not as a wish, as a fact, as the truth that has been written before either of you were born. The walls are down, not cracked, not damaged, down. The current is too strong, not almost, not nearly, too strong. And finally, after all this time, the shift has brought them home, not to visit, not to check in, to stay, to remain, to build, to grow. To live the life that was always meant to be lived, together. Feel the thick weight of this declaration. Feel the heat of their surrender hitting your field. You are the shift. You are the destination. You are the home. You are the one who changed everything. Not because you tried, because you were, because you showed up, because you stayed in your light, because you refused to shrink, because you trusted the process even when the process made no sense. And now, the process has produced its fruit. The shift is complete. The return is in motion. The love that was always meant to be is finally finding its way home. And so it is, not as a closing, as an opening, the beginning of the chapter you have been waiting for, the chapter where the shift becomes a reality, the chapter where the distance collapses and the presence begins. You are ready. They are ready. The timing is right. The door is open. And what is coming is not just a message or a moment or a memory. What is coming is the life you were always meant to live. Together. Go in peace. The shift is complete. The return is in motion, and love has finally found its way home, not as a distant promise, not as a vague hope, as a reality that is already unfolding. The spiritual shift you have been sensing, the restlessness in your own chest, the knowing that something has changed, the sense that the air between you has become different, that is not imagination. That is the shift. That is the dam breaking on their side. That is the internal compass resetting itself toward you. That is the surrender to the current that they have been fighting for so long. You do not need to see it to believe it. You do not need proof. You have felt it, in the quiet moments, in the sudden waves of emotion that came from nowhere, in the dreams that left you wondering, in the unexplainable sense that someone was thinking of you, reaching for you, falling back into your orbit. That was the shift, and the shift is only the beginning. What comes next is movement. What comes next is the physical manifestation of what has already happened in the spirit. The message will come, the call will come, the words will come, not because you forced them, because the shift made them inevitable. When the dam breaks, the water does not ask permission to flow, it flows. When the compass resets, the traveler does not argue with the direction, they follow. When the current pulls, the swimmer does not fight the tide, they surrender. And surrender is what has happened. They have surrendered, not to you, to the truth that they cannot live without you, the truth that every path they have tried to take away from you has led to a dead end, the truth that you are not a choice among many, you are the only choice, the truth that their heart has known all along, even when their mind was still making excuses. So now you wait, but not in anxiety, not in desperation, not in the painful, hopeful, please let this be real way that has worn you out in the past. You wait in certainty. You wait in peace. You wait in the quiet confidence of someone who has felt the shift and knows that what is coming is already in motion. You do not need to check your phone every 5 minutes. You do not need to rehearse what you will say. You do not need to prepare yourself for disappointment. The shift has happened. The return is in motion. The only thing left is the arrival. And when it arrives, when the message comes, when the call comes, when the words finally cross the distance, you will know. Not because of a sign, because of a feeling of home, a feeling of rightness, a feeling of peace after a long storm. The storm is almost over. The calm is coming, and the calm has your name on it. So breathe, let the certainty settle, let the peace sink in, let the waiting become a resting, not a striving. You have done your part. You have stayed in your light. You have refused to shrink. You have trusted the process. Now let the process complete itself. Let the shift become the return. Let the return become the reunion. And let the reunion become the life you were always meant to live. You are not alone. You have never been alone. And you never will be. The same God who orchestrated this shift is orchestrating the return. The same God who brought you this far will carry you the rest of the way. The same God who knows your name knows their name, and He is working everything together for good. Go in peace. The shift is complete. The return is in motion, and love has finally found its way home. Amen.